Good afternoon. I'm Carol Berquist, and I'm greeting you today from Escanaba, Michigan. I'm the current chair of the Michigan Council for Rehabilitation Services. The council is a governor-appointed group of 15 people from across our state who represent various roles in Michigan's disability community. We work in partnership with Michigan Rehabilitation Services and the Bureau of Services for Blind Persons to ensure quality and effective vocational rehabilitation services for Michigan citizens. On behalf of the council, I'm welcoming you to the Michigan Rehabilitation Services 2022 Champion Awards, a true celebration of success that I know you will enjoy. Steve Peterson is the host for today's event, and he will introduce you to Michigan's amazing 2022 champions.
Thanks, Carol. Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Peterson. I'm a site manager with the Port Huron MRS office, part of our Eastern District, and it is my distinct honor and privilege to be hosting the 14th annual MRS Champions Award ceremony. Before we move further into the event, we have a few housekeeping notes to go over. The chat feature is available. Closed captioning is also available by selecting the CC Closed Caption button and then show subtitle. A recording of the event will be made available on the Michigan Department of Labor's YouTube channel following this event. Lastly, if there are any technical issues, please contact Zoom for technical assistance via their Zoom Help Center. Before we get to the announcement of award recipients, we are honored to have a few distinguished speakers to offer welcoming remarks. First, let's please welcome Susan Corbin, who is the director of the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity.
Hello, I'm Susan Corbin, Director of the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. I'm pleased to join this year's Champion Awards hosted by our Michigan Rehabilitation Services. Vocational rehabilitation is a valuable component of the work the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity does to support the state's residents. The value of vocational rehabilitation will be showcased today as we honor the people, businesses, and partners who are making significant contributions to supporting individuals with disabilities or those who have received life-changing services and resources to reach their goals. We have so much to celebrate currently, as we also honor National Disability Employment Awareness Month. This Awareness Month reminds us of how important it is that Michigan's economic success is built upon the skills and talents of every resident of our state. Together, we can work to ensure equity and access for all Michiganders. We also want to use this month to highlight the fact that Michigan employers increasingly recognize the abilities of people with disabilities and that employing these workers makes good business sense. Skilled and educated candidates with disabilities provide an untapped talent pool for employers across the state. Today's awards ceremony gives us an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of people with disabilities whose employment is enriching Michigan's business community, culture, and future. I too congratulate all of today's recipients and appreciate the opportunity to join you for this celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Corbin. To close out our introductory remarks, please welcome Stephanie Beckhorn, the Director of Employment and Training, part of the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Beckhorn, Director of the Office of Employment and Training within the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. Michigan Rehabilitation Services is part of the Office of Employment and Training, along with the Bureau of Services for Blind Persons and Workforce Development. Together, we work to close opportunity gaps and assist people, businesses, and communities in reaching their full potential. We promote a flexible, innovative, and effective workforce system by developing customized workforce solutions for businesses and individuals, including those with disabilities. Today's celebration honors the individuals, students, businesses, and community partners who have made a commitment to Michigan's public vocational rehabilitation programs for people with disabilities. MRS believes in assisting individuals with disabilities in becoming employed in a career and retaining employment and career advancement based on their current or potential skills and abilities in demand-driven occupations. The work of MRS ensures all Michiganders have exceptional opportunities to have a great job, earn a livable wage, and contribute to our state's future. The 2022 Champion Award recipients are also excellent examples of the external partners who contribute to that work, as well as the individuals and businesses who benefit directly from these efforts. The successes you'll hear about today are just a handful of the many stories that could be told about Michigan's vocational rehabilitation programs and their outcomes. I would like to congratulate all of you on your work and the recognition you are about to receive. I am glad we could gather virtually to recognize your significant efforts and contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Beckhorn. This afternoon, we are excited to announce the nominators and the recipients of the 2022 Champion Awards. From over 30,000 individuals served and over 4,500 businesses served, MRS has selected 13 awards over 5 categories. These include 2 large businesses, 2 small businesses, 4 customers, 2 student customers, 2 community partner awards, and 1 statewide partner award. Without further ado, let's get to the awards. Our first award category falls under the category of Business Partner Large Business. And this year's 2022 Champion Award goes to Amphenol Borish Technologies. Congratulations, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. They are in partnership with Michigan Rehabilitation Services, Grand Rapids District Office, and the Business Network Division. Amphenol Borish Technologies is represented by Jillian Black and was nominated by Charlene Organ.
Good afternoon. I'm Charlene Organ. I have the honor to present the Large Business Champion Award to Amphenol Borish Technologies, ABT, on behalf of the Business Network Division and the Grand Rapids District Office. ABT had originally been working with Todd Sprunger for years, and he would forward his leads on to me and all of us at GRDO. And when I ended up taking this role, it really just increased the role as a business relations consultant. So about 5 years now, our relationship with them has really grown. We set up a tour to try to better understand their positions and share them about the business services that we have to offer. And at which point at the tour, they were making really great progress. They did a video presentation for their orientation for those who have different learning styles. And then with our tour afterwards, they added closed captioning to increase their talent market for more people and more inclusive as well for the deaf and hard of hearing employees. And then they did several disability awareness trainings, not with just the HR staff, but also with the staff on the floor, which is key to having an inclusive workforce. And then they accommodated their workstations, got appropriate attire for our customer that they hired there who was in a wheelchair. And then COVID hit. And so, it was kind of like, what do we do? But they reached right back out to us and we're wondering how they can retain the talent that they hired there, that were also MRS customers and ones that have been successfully closed. They added more space, they flexed employee schedules, they increased their wages. They worked on a specialized mask with one of our occupational therapists, Claudette Reed, and they didn't stop there. They did ergonomics training, the mental health training. They had an OT come in, Angela Blanchard, to evaluate some of their electronic assembly positions to get appropriate accommodations. And then we also presented to their veteran employee resource group. And then Jill and Katie started working and hiring people by way of job carving. Like job carving hasn't been done in a while, it seems like. So it was so exciting. They were really truly looking at the position descriptions, seeing the needs of things that need to be done and what could somebody else come in and do that may have cognitive or sensory limitations. They've done tours for MCTI, Project Search, customers that were just interested and counselors as well. So I guess the list just goes on and on. It's been truly amazing, and it continues to be a great business partner. We thank you so much, Jill and Katie and everybody at ABT for accepting this award. It's very well deserved.
Hi, I'm Jillian Black, and I am a Human Resource Business Partner here at Amphenol Boreas Technologies. We're so honored to be presented with the MRS Business Champion Award as a large business partner, and feel so grateful to be nominated by Charlene and the team at MRS. We've partnered with MRS for over 2 years now, and we've benefited in so many ways from that partnership. MRS has provided us with disability awareness training for our team, which has sparked many important conversations about disabilities and how to best accommodate individuals with disabilities on site here at our facility. This training has cleared up many misconceptions about people with disabilities. For example, you cannot always see disabilities, and has provided a safe place for our team members to engage in rich conversations on the topic. So much is possible when we can provide an inclusive environment for all. We were able to look at our hiring practices and our open positions to determine how they could work for a person with a disability. We've had MRS team members bring potential candidates on and tour our facility with our dedicated team members to see if our environment is a place for these individuals to be able to work and thrive and grow. So we were able to see how much is possible when we can partner with a place like MRS.
Okay. Hi, I'm Bob Burnett, the General Manager here at Amphenol Boreas Technologies. We are incredibly proud of our partnership with MRS and with the several team members that they have helped place here at ABT. Every day, those team members live in accordance with our core values, especially passion and accountability, while supporting our purpose to support those who serve.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Vandenbos, and I'm the Director of Human Resources here at Amphenol Boreas Technologies. Our partnership with MRS is valuable in so many ways. We know we aren't alone after we bring in one of their customers as a hire here at ABT. We've been able to have many conversations together about potential accommodations in order for their customers and our employees to be successful, comfortable, and happy here at ABT. If we ever need any assistance, we know that MRS is always available. We're so honored to receive this award, and we look forward to many more years of partnerships with Charlene and MRS.
Our next award winner falls under the category again of Business Partner for Large Business. And our 2022 award winner, DT Energy, in partnership with MRS Business Network Division. Congratulations, out of Detroit, Michigan. They're represented by Alicia Harris and nominated by Jacqueline Smith. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacqueline Smith, and I am the MRS Business Relations Consultant serving the Detroit area. It is my pleasure to congratulate DTE Energy on being selected as the winner of the 2022 Champion Awards Large Business Partner category. For the past few years, MRS and DTE have worked together collaboratively to create a culture of inclusion for individuals with disabilities. I have had the pleasure of working with DTE's HR team, and more specifically, their Employment Strategies Manager, Alicia Harris, on implementing creative ways of revamping their hiring strategies for new applicants and becoming more accessible and ADA compliant. This relationship has led to DTE paying closer attention to how they recruit, hire, and retain MRS customers and employees with disabilities in general. They now conduct pre-employment training sessions and specialized workshops for career building employment opportunities for their Career Pathways apprenticeship programs. MRS customers have had an opportunity to participate in these sessions and gain employment as a result. MRS Business Network Division has provided trainings to their AIM, which stands for Abilities in Motion, Employee Resource Group, and have provided several ADA and reasonable accommodation consultative services over time. In addition to what they do as an employer, DTE dedicate themselves to investing time and monies into the Detroit community by educating citizens and school-age children on energy efficiency, sponsoring STEM programs, supporting Project Search, and several other community resource organization programs that focus on individuals with disabilities and other underserved populations. They manage the Thaw, Heat, and Warmth Fund, which provides emergency energy and utility assistance to Michigan households in need, as well as other community development projects such as Beacon Park, their expansive outdoor green space that hosts year-round events for families to enjoy. With that being said, it is of no surprise that DTE has also pledged to be a valuable 500 company, which is a global business collective of Fortune 500 CEOs and their companies innovating together to be more inclusive in the workplace. Thank you, DET, for all you do for individuals with disabilities and your pledge to move the diversity, equity, and inclusion needle forward.
Hi, I'm Elisa Harris, Manager of Employment Strategies at DTE Energy. And on behalf of DTE, I'm happy to accept this amazing champion award from Michigan Rehabilitation Services. We are extremely proud of our company's work to create equity for people living with disabilities, and we're grateful for the partnership with Michigan Rehabilitation Services. At DTE, we know that to achieve our aspiration of being best in the world and best for the world, we need to strengthen our diverse, equitable, and inclusive culture so that everyone can contribute their full potential toward serving our customers and communities. Building an inclusive and diverse workforce is a top priority at DTE, and partnering with MRS has made our journey easier. One recent example of that partnership was when we had a qualified blind person in our applicant pool who had great skills, and we really wanted to hire them, but had little experience working with the blind. We called Jacqueline Smith, our business relations consultant at MRS, and she coordinated a meeting for us with the Michigan Bureau of Services for Blind Persons. We had a meeting with Dan Mitchell, their vocational rehabilitation counselor, and we left the meeting with the confidence on our next steps. And I'm happy to say that the blind person has been very successful with DTE, and he is helping us to make our virtual work environment more accommodating for others like him. But not only has MRS been our go-to resource for advice, but they've helped broaden our perspective, and they've provided us with qualified applicants on positions in skilled trades where we may have had our own blind spots. I'm happy to report that one of the MRS referrals was hired into an apprenticeship at DTE Electric with starting pay in the $30 an hour range. Now, this apprenticeship leads to a journeyman position that will ultimately pay over $50 an hour plus overtime. We know that many people with disabilities face barriers to employment and are often unemployed. We are proud to do our part in creating greater economic opportunities. Please know that when I speak of these two examples, these are not our only examples, and we do have others in the pipeline. And I must say that we do this because it's the right thing to do. We are committed to creating a more diverse, inclusive, and equitable work environment by developing tools and sharing resources for groups and leaders to use. I hope that you can visualize that MRS has really been a great partner in our journey. And I'd have to say that in reality, we should be giving an award to MRS. But be that as it may, and given that you have selected DTE to be one of your champion awardees for 2022, we are thrilled, we are honored, and I truly, humbly accept this award on behalf of DTE Energy. Thank you very much.
Our next award falls under Business Partner for Small Business. And our 2022 Champion Award for Small Business is A&F Wood Incorporated. Congratulations from Howell, Michigan, in partnership with MRS's Ann Arbor District Office. A&F Wood is represented by Haley Corti and Jason Corti and was nominated by Shanti Bailey.
Good afternoon. My name is Shanti Bailey, and I am the Ann Arbor District Manager for Michigan Rehabilitation Services. I am so excited that our long-term business partner, A&F Wood, has won the MRS Champion Award for Small Business Partners. A&F Wood has worked with MRS for over 20 years, and the owner, Jason, understands the need for persons with disabilities to have a supportive work environment. From having staff trained in ABA therapy to offering their employees higher than average competitive wages with full benefits after 90 days of full-time employment, A&F Wood understands the importance of supporting their employees and truly embodies the idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workforce. This year alone, A&F Wood has hired 5 MRS customers and has provided job exploration services for at least 9 high school students. During a visit to their factory, I was absolutely blown away by how welcoming and happy staff were. A MRS customer showed us his work environment, and you could see how proud he was of his contribution to the company. He even had ideas of how to improve his work area and was very comfortable advocating for himself and sharing his ideas with management. I am very excited to work with A&F Wood and elevate our partnership to better serve MRS customers as well as the community. Congratulations once again on your well-deserved award.
Thank you, everyone, very much. My name is Haley Corti, and I am with A&F Wood. I am the Human Resources Personnel lady in charge, and I also am the LESA and MRS liaison for our business. We can't thank Michigan Rehabilitation Services and Shanti and her team enough for helping us and assisting us and giving us and nominating us for this award. It means a lot to me and Jason, and we are just so thankful that we are given the opportunity to help these kids and these students get a work experience and learn how to handle situations with coworkers and other employees. I think it's really great for students to be able to have this kind of opportunity in the real world outside of the education system. So I'm very thankful that we are even able to do this kind of work and work with people as great as Shanti and her team through MRS and the Livingston Educational Service Agency as well. They have been truly remarkable with sending us some amazing students, and the job coaches are amazing. And we wouldn't be able to do any of this without them, to give these kiddos and these students the opportunity to really just learn how to use basic life skills and to learn a little extra on the side. For example, how to make parts for a pocket door frame using nails and bumpers and screws and all that jazz. So again, we really strive to help everybody that we can, especially Jason. He has the heart of gold, and we just are really thankful to even have been nominated for this. This is huge, and we couldn't have done that without MRS. So thank you very much.
Our next award is our second Business Partner for Small Business. And the winner of the 2022 MRS Champion Award for Business Partner Small Business is Macro Connect. Congratulations. They were in partnership with MRS, the Business Network Division. They are represented by Macro Connect, Matthew Morin, and they're from Detroit. And they're nominated by Gene Bomarito. Congratulations, Macro Connect.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gene Bomarito. I'm a business relations consultant for the Business Network Division of Michigan Rehabilitation Services, and I have coverage of the Eastern Michigan District Office. I'd like to introduce Macro Connect. Macro Connect is an IT management service company that was contacted in the fall of 2021 by the Business Network Division on behalf of students of the Michigan Bridge Academy who were slated to complete a training program for IT networking and cybersecurity by December of 2021. And also to support the students in the program before such students could even be considered for hire by Macro Connect. Macro Connect was asked to consider the mission of Michigan Bridge Academy in partnership with Michigan Rehabilitation Services, that being the training of individuals with disabilities for entry-level Cisco Certified Technician certification in order to win entry-level employment and internship opportunities for networking, cybersecurity, and related industry classifications. Macro Connect elected to partner with Michigan Bridge Academy by offering virtual tours of their operations for the students of the Michigan Bridge Academy, and also to provide talks on career pathways in the IT field and particular skills for students to develop depending on the industry sector and the occupation that such students of the Michigan Bridge Academy had in mind. Thereafter, Macro Connect interviewed Earl Doobie, a graduate of the program, and hired him in a paid internship in February of 2022, which led to Mr. Doobie's eventual outright employment as an IT technician. So Macro Connect hired Mr. Doobie, a graduate of the Michigan Bridge Academy and job candidate referred by Michigan Rehabilitation Services in February of 2022. Macro Connect responded to the marketed outreach from the business relations consultant of the Business Network Division by flexibly considering the advantages of the on-the-job experience arranged by Michigan Rehabilitation Services on behalf of this candidate, Mr. Earl Doobie. However, after some consideration, Macro Connect elected to forego the on-the-job experience and to hire Mr. Doobie in a paid internship that they themselves would underwrite and conduct. After meeting with Mr. Doobie in a three-part interview process conducted over a period of a couple of weeks. Once hired, Macro Connect worked with Mr. Doobie, assessing his performance and potentials for a few job classifications. They tried him initially as a help desk technician, IT field service technician, and within a week concluded that he was not particularly a good fit in this classification. They then moved him to a dispatch manager to direct and route IT field technicians to service projects among various business accounts held by Macro Connect. Within a week or two, Macro Connect determined that Mr. Doobie was not as strong as they would have liked him to be as a dispatch manager. The company moved Mr. Doobie to yet another classification, that being the setup and repair of laptops that are used in an operating system explicitly designed for internet-based learning. Macro Connect supports Detroit charter schools, and specifically the grade school children of these charter schools who rely on Chrome laptops for all their learning. Mr. Doobie found his niche in this capacity and worked successfully with corresponding promotion and a pay raise as a level 1 technician in training repair watch. Macro Connect has demonstrated a willingness to provide an individual with a disability opportunity through the use of adaptive interviewing, accommodation, and advancement, and is a model of patient and consistent mentoring aimed at optimizing the work performance and the job satisfaction of its employees, including those with disabilities. On behalf of Michigan Rehabilitation Services, I congratulate Macro Connect and am grateful for the opportunity to work with Macro Connect and Mr. Matt Morin. Thank you very much.
I am Matthew Morin, and I'm the chairman and founder of Macro Connect, IT managed service provider that serves schools and small businesses throughout the state of Michigan and the United States. And I'm just honored to be giving this statement on behalf of our company, our CEO, and the rest of our team. It's definitely an honor to be acknowledged by the Michigan Bridge Academy for helping and for MRS with this award. As a core values-driven organization, Macro Connect believes that there's more than one bottom line for any business, and that second bottom line is about taking care of the people in our community and about leaving the world a better place, as well as running a successful business. And I think our involvement with this program and I think this award is an embodiment of that and an acknowledgement of it. I can say our team was extremely excited and fulfilled by the opportunity that we had to deliver a virtual tour. We have a very special workplace in a 125-year-old police station that we renovated. And we had an opportunity to provide a virtual tour to the members of one of the cohorts of the Michigan Bridge Academy. And we got to share with them what a day in the life at Macro Connect looks like. And hopefully, that was something that gave those students some vision of where their career might go as they wrap up the program. And then I guess the best part of the experience thus far has been an opportunity to actually hire and work with a graduate from the program. We worked with Earl Doobie and we're just learned so much from him. I think everyone on our team has worked through this experience and has learned something new and has become they've become better people, and I think better technicians as well. So as I said, just a great honor to be here and to be acknowledged, and we look forward to future opportunities to work with the organization.
Our next award falls under the customer category, and our first award winner in this category for the 2022 Champion Award is Ethan Idzior. Congratulations, Ethan. He's from Auburn, Michigan, and again in partnership with Michigan Rehabilitation Services Business Network Division, and was nominated by Gary Hollick.
Good afternoon. My name is Gary Hollick, and I'm a business relations consultant within the Business Network Division within Michigan Rehabilitation Services. In August 2021, Ethan graduated from Michigan Tech University with a Bachelor's of Science degree in computer science. Before that, he completed 2 internships with Hewlett Packard. One of those internships was virtual due to the COVID epidemic. During his internships, he used his knowledge and skills to develop scripting language, which would assist Hewlett Packard with cleaning up their clutter in their coding language. He also worked on a team of programmers who significantly reduced the amount of memory used in their low-end laser printers. This work was expected to save HP a significant amount of money annually. In the spring of 2022, Ethan was offered an internship with Dell. Upon completion of the internship, he was hired by them. Ethan continues to demonstrate his drive to work as a computer programmer and be successful in the world of work. Congratulations, Ethan, on your award.
I'm honored to have been selected for this award and that my experience has been inspirational for others in similar circumstances. The path to where I am at now has been long and sometimes difficult, but I can say here at the end of it that it's been worth it. There were many points where I struggled, but now I've found a job at Dell which is compatible with my needs and which I enjoy. I hope that my story can inspire other people with similar struggles to keep pushing through even when things get hard, and then it can inspire the people around them to be supportive and compassionate, because these have done so much for me. First, I would like to thank all of the amazing people who have been there for me. Friends, family, mentors, and most of all my mom. I don't think I could have done half of what I have without all of your support, and I'm so lucky to have all of you in my life. I also would like to thank the companies which have aided in starting up programs for people on the spectrum, such as HP, which I started helping with a program a little while back. It's a great concrete affirmation to see my journey help create opportunities for other people with disabilities to find fulfilling, prosperous careers, and I hope that the benefits of neurodiversity will be embraced by more companies as they see how it benefits companies which are already embracing it now. Finally, I would like to thank Michigan Rehabilitation Services. While I was searching for employment, they helped me with resume preparation and with interview skills. When I got my job at Dell, they helped me with setting up accommodations in my workplace in order to make it so it would better suit my physical needs due to my disabilities. I've been able to work with far less pain, improve my quality of life as well as my productivity. Thank you again for selecting me for the MRS Champion Award. I've come a long ways, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds in store.
Our next customer award for the 2022 Champions Award goes out to Mansell Little from Fairborn, Ohio, in partnership with MRS's Detroit Hamtramck office. He was nominated by Omar Deadwilder. Congratulations, Mansell.
Hello, I'm Omar Deadwilder, MRS counselor with the Detroit Hamtramck office. I'm been a counselor here for about 14, 15 years, and I'm excited to introduce someone who I've met at Cody High School when he was in the 10th grade, Mansell Little. He impressed me from the day I met him. He was focused, he was diligent, and trying to obtain his job goal. When I met him, he wanted to major in physical therapy, but as he matriculated through Wilberforce University, he changed it to counseling. And now I'm happy to say he changed it to rehabilitation counseling as he works on his master's. So without no further ado, it gives me great honor to introduce a young man who is an inspiration to many, and I'm glad to nominate him for the 2022 Champion Award.
Okay, well, I want to say thank you. My name is Mansell Little. I am honored to be receiving this award on account of, my dad, Waller, my mentor and my counselor. He has made an impact on my life. He has helped me identify what I want to do as a career, ways to overcome obstacles that, well, I thought was obstacles, but he showed me they were just brief situations. Thanks to him, I will be receiving my master's in clinical rehabilitation counseling and plan on working for MRS fall of next year after graduation. And yeah, I'm attending Wilberforce University now.
Our third customer award for the 2022 Champions Awards goes out to Brianna Howell from Detroit, Michigan. Congratulations. She was nominated in partnership with the Michigan Rehabilitation Services Office in Detroit, the Renaissance Office, and was nominated by Lisa Davis. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Lisa Davis, and I am a counselor at the Detroit Grand River office. I began working with Brianna May 2018 when she was referred to the agency by Cornerstone High School. Brianna was born with several disabilities that cause cognitive processing and mobility challenges. Brianna felt that her disabilities were always on display for all to see, and that most of her teachers had low expectations of students who went to the resource room. Brianna learned to advocate for herself and tackle lofty goals despite low expectations from whispering family members, teachers, students, and strangers. Brianna was determined not to let her disabilities stand in the way of her future. She was accepted to Bennett College in Greensboro, North Carolina, September 2021. While attending Bennett College, Brianna made sure to access special student services for disability-related accommodations, such as a seat next to the instructor, extended time on an exam, and the use of a smart pen for note-taking. I am happy to announce that Brianna earned her bachelor's degree with a major in interdisciplinary studies, December 2021, magna cum laude. She also was on the Dean's List and on the Honors List during her 4 years at Bennett College. She recently opted to participate in a paid internship at St. Patrick's Senior Center, supported by MRS, to improve her job readiness skills prior to entering competitive integrated employment. Brianna continues to volunteer at the center and has proven to be a valuable member of the team. It is my pleasure to present Brianna with the Michigan Rehabilitation Services Customer Champion Award.
Hello, my name is Brianna Howell. I am a 23-year-old recent graduate of Bennett College. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies with a concentration in women's studies and political science. Attending Bennett College gave me the opportunity to contribute to my community at a higher level. When I enter the medical field, I'll be able to help people who deal with medical challenges, just like the doctors, nurses, technicians, and therapists were there for me. Like Detroit, my hometown, I will rise above the shade and become the best healthcare professional I can be. On July 11, 2022, I started interning at St. Pat's Senior Center in downtown Detroit thanks to Michigan Rehabilitation Services and DreamTech. My responsibilities include updating computer files, answering phones, filing, posting updates, checking seniors in, and anything that my supervisor needs me to do. St. Pat's has appreciated my help in office administration. They always tell me that I have been a big help. That makes me feel valuable because I was able to aid someone else in need around the office. I love my job so much. I wouldn't trade it in for the world. I'm very grateful and would like to thank Lisa Davis, Wendy Chapman, and the whole Michigan Rehabilitation Services team for making this possible. I don't think I would have done it without you guys. I also owe thanks to all of my professors, teachers, and disability coordinators. They refuse to let me settle for doing less than my best. Finally, thank you to my family who have loved and supported me since I entered the world weighing 1 pound. They are the champions in my life. They taught me that I could accomplish anything despite my disability. Thanks again. I really appreciate this award.
Our fourth and final customer award for 2022. The award goes out to Earl Doobie. Congratulations, Earl. Earl is from Shelby Township and in partnership with Michigan Rehabilitation Services Business Network Division. And Earl was nominated by Gene Bomarito. Congratulations, Earl.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gene Bomarito. I'm a business relations consultant for the Business Network Division of Michigan Rehabilitation Services. And I had the pleasure of working with a gentleman, Mr. Doobie, a customer of Michigan Rehabilitation Services, who opted for training through the Michigan Bridge Academy with the help of his Macomb District Office counselor, that being Deanna McTaggart. The 20-week program that he was involved in was conducted entirely online beginning in September of 2021, and it completed in December. Emphasis of the program was on networking and cybersecurity in the information technology industry. Upon completing the program, he sat for the Cisco Certified Technician Certification exam. He passed the exam on the first try, thereby earning an entry-level certification for networking with emphasis on routing and switching. That's the Cisco Certified Technician Routing and Switching certification. At that time, he was referred by the Macomb District Office to the Business Network Division of MRS for job preparation and placement, and I had, again, the privilege to work with him. Mr. Doobie's resume was upgraded. Emphasis was placed on his interviewing skill development. That process was intended to provide Mr. Doobie with an understanding of the value that he would bring to an IT company and the phrasing necessary to articulate that value in an interview. During that process, it became evident to me that Mr. Doobie is a highly motivated individual who has experienced adversity because of his disability, but who commits himself to overcoming adversity through very strong effort and learning and skill development, avoiding idleness and applying himself to new learning all the time. Mr. Doobie dramatically improved his interviewing technique and demonstrated a flexibility by adapting a strategy of interviewing and some ideas that were offered to him, while at the same time developing creative ways of stating his work history and his skill development during the time of the interview. Perhaps a little earlier, November, I developed a company for Mr. Doobie, an IT management company located in Detroit, that being Macro Connect. After some discussion with Macro Connect, it was determined that Mr. Doobie would likely be considered for a short on-the-job experience, leading to outright employment. Mr. Doobie is a remarkable communicator and a highly motivated IT technician who certainly draws on his incredible motivation and innate resolve necessary to undertake and absorb the continuous learning of the IT industry. And he possesses a unique voice and a unique perspective as an advocate for persons with disabilities seeking opportunity to work. So on behalf of Michigan Rehabilitation Services, I strongly congratulate Mr. Doobie, and it was my pleasure to work with him. Thanks very much.
Hi, my name is Earl Doobie. My video statement to the MRS Championship Awards is basically just a repeat of what I said during my Workology podcast 6 months ago. I know you are told growing up as a kid to not have an ego. Even the word ego seems to have a negative connotation to it when you say it. In reality, I think this line of thinking, it needs to stop. At the end of the day, it goes like this. If you have no ego, you have no will to win. If you have too much ego, you have no will to lose. If you have just the right amount of ego, though, you have no will to give up. The reason why I say this is because you, as someone who thinks or is labeled as disabled in any way whatsoever, you need to have that feeling of an ego, because if you let yourself fall into the everlasting doubt and fear that you cannot do something because of your disability, you can't think that. You have to think highly of yourself. You have to think that you can be just as good as anyone else. You will never be able to accomplish anything regardless of what MRS does for you if you don't have that confidence or that ego that you can make it, that you can do it. Confidence in yourself that you can look at your coworkers and say, I can be just as good as them, even if it's your first day of work in that company. You gotta enter through that door. You gotta say, I can do this. You gotta rid yourself of your insecurities, your doubts, your fears, and say, I might be disabled, but I can do this. That's the ego you need to be successful in any workplace, regardless of what disability you might suffer from. Release yourself from anything that says no to you, that any cynic or critic. Believe that you can make a difference in the world, and you will find self-fulfillment, independence, and self-reliance like you could never dream of.
Our first Student Customer Award for 2022, the Champion Award goes to Alex Cortes in partnership with the Michigan Rehabilitation Services Office in Clinton Township. And Alex is from Sterling Heights, and Alex was nominated by Lisa Ann Crosenzi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I would like to congratulate Alex Cortes on his acceptance for the Champion Award for Student. I began working with Alex when he was a senior at Anchor Bay High School, and Alex was very undecided about his career path. So we began doing some career exploration, which included interest inventories and discussions about possibilities for training at MCTI. And then Alex decided to participate in a job shadow at Style Right Printing. He had somewhat of an interest in the printing business. So that was arranged with one of our vendors. And Alex completed his job shadow under the company owner, which was very nice. And she took Alex really under her wing. She was able to give him exposure to various types of printing. They have 2 separate facilities. So Alex was able to learn quite a bit about the printing industry, the skills that were required, as well as different types of positions they have within their company, depending on the type of printing that they're doing. Alex did so well at his job shadow, and the owner liked him so much that she actually offered him a position at the end of his job shadow. However, Alex wasn't quite ready at the time. So Alex decided to take the summer and work after his graduation and work near his home. He wanted to gain a little bit of work experience and save up some money. He was relying on his family members for transportation. So his goal was to save up enough for a vehicle and to get his permit reinstated so he could get his driver's license. So Alex and I focused on that, and he was still a bit undecided about attending MCTI. So I provided counseling and guidance to Alex regarding that decision, and Alex decided to move forward with MCTI. So he attended the 3 terms at MCTI successfully in the commercial printing program. And when he was finished with the program, he was in the job search portion of it. So Alex and I had a discussion, and we talked a little bit about Style Right Printing, and he decided to contact them since they were willing to offer him a position previously. So Alex interviewed, and he was hired in at Style Right. So Alex continued to work towards gaining his driver's license, saving up for a vehicle, and he was able to achieve all of those goals. So he was successful in completing the MCTI commercial printing program, getting his driver's license, and also saving up for a vehicle. So I was very proud of Alex, and Alex just is a testament to the hard work, the dedication, and staying the course to achieve one's goals. He did not let the barriers he encountered deter him, and he continued at his own pace and when he was ready to achieve his success. So when I asked Alex, when I told him I had nominated him and I was writing my nomination, I asked if there was anything that he had thoughts on. And Alex just stated that he never thought that he would achieve all of these goals, and that he was so glad that he made the decision to continue with VR services and to go forward with attending MCTI. So I just want to congratulate Alex on his hard work, his dedication, and staying the course to achieve his goals. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I really don't think I would have found employment if I had never gone to MCTI, like for help with that. Yeah, it was a good opportunity. It was definitely a good decision to start a program with MCTI, because yeah, I don't think I ever would really be where I am right now if I hadn't been with MCTI, started with them.
Our next Student Customer Award for 2022, the Champion Award goes to Leah Johncock. Congratulations, Leah. Leah is from Shelbyville, Michigan, and she was nominated in partnership with the Michigan Rehabilitation Services Office in the Michigan Career and Technical Institute, nominated by Dave Van Hoos and Carrie Jackson.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Van Hoos. I'm an industrial electronics trade instructor at MCTI, and I nominated Leah Johncock for MRS Champions Award. It was an honor to have Leah as a student worker in the industrial electronics program at MCTI. Leah excelled academically. However, it was the positive energy she brought into the classroom and the camaraderie she had amongst her peers that stood out even more. Other students in the classroom looked up to Leah, and she was a role model for other students to follow. Leah did an exemplary job as a student worker after class, assisting with instructor-assigned projects and repairs of the training equipment. Leah was also the first MCTI student to earn the Manufacturing Technician certification from the Manufacturing Skills Institute. This is a nationally recognized stackable credential. It demonstrates to employers that an individual understands advanced manufacturing. Leah represented MCTI in the Industrial Electronics program at the CTE Month virtual conference last February, sharing her experiences in the trade to representatives in Leo and educators across the state. Lastly, Leah earned an honors award in her final term in MCTI for her outstanding contributions to the school, her fellow students, and significant growth during her time at the school. Upon graduation, Leah began employment at AutoCAD Medical in Grand Rapids as a maintenance technician. Congratulations, Leah, on an MRS Champion Award. You worked hard and it's well deserved.
Leah is unavailable to give a statement on her award this afternoon, but we want to once again congratulate Leah Johncock, Student Customer Award winner from Shelbyville. Congratulations again, Leah. Our next award falls under Community Partner. And the 2022 Champion Award for Community Partner goes to the Simmons Advantage. Congratulations. They are from West Bloomfield, Michigan, in partnership from the Michigan Rehabilitation Services Detroit Renaissance District, the Eastern District, and Innovation and Special Programs Division. Representing the Simmons Advantage is Kwame Simmons and Tamika Simmons, and they were nominated by Francisco Gamboa, Nico Dixon, and Tracy Lewis Jennings.
Hi, my name is Nico Dixon. I am the district manager for the MRS offices of Detroit. As the district manager of Detroit, I'm always open and eager to develop partnerships to elevate our services to our customers, especially our youth. I was introduced and began working with the Simmons Advantage. Last year, we worked diligently to develop an array of summer work-based learning experiences, including non-traditional ones. I have to say that this past summer was one of Detroit Renaissance District's best summers, which resulted in 239 work-based learning experiences for our youth. The Simmons Advantage contributed to that. While working with Kwame, I learned that he had many grounded relationships with businesses, community partners, and our local school district. Detroit had experienced some past challenges with assessing our students through our local school district. Kwame introduced me to one of our local school board members, and now the doors are opening even more. What I really appreciate about Kwame is the energy, dedication, commitment, and willingness that he has in supporting youth. His passion is so great that we were discussing pre-ed programming for this school year before the school year had even begun. His willingness and desire to think outside the box in developing solid, exciting, engaging programming for our youth is just what Detroit needed. This Champion Award is so well deserved. The Detroit Renaissance District look forward to elevating our partnership. Your service to our youth is much appreciated. I'm optimistic that our continued partnership, the best is yet to come. Congratulations, the Simmons Advantage.
Hello, my name is Tracy Lewis Jennings, and I'm the district manager for the Eastern Michigan District here at Michigan Rehabilitation Services. And on today, I am so excited to see the Simmons Advantage get this award. It is so well deserved. The perseverance that has taken place over the years with Simmons Advantage is just countless. He has empowered many students. He has brought together coalitions in the community. We talk about school districts, we're talking about businesses, and because of his work, Michigan Rehab has actually been enriched. So I want to say to both of you that you've done an amazing job working with our clients as they continue to go for self-sufficiency and independence and coming into the careers that they are looking to go into. Thank you so much for all that you do. And I'm going to echo, you are going to go in great places, and because of you, our customers are well served. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Francisco Gamboa, and I'm a rehabilitation consultant with MRS. And I'm very, very excited today to recognize community partner recipients Kwame and Tamika Simmons of the Simmons Advantage. I'm very, very excited because working with the Simmons Advantage these last few years on an adjudicated youth program has been a very challenging and rewarding process. And it's been very successful recently because of the perseverance, excitement, the enthusiasm, and the dedication that Kwame and the Simmons Advantage have consistently displayed. Their ability to work in a challenging environment in a residential youth setting to make sure quality pre-employment transition services are delivered to adjudicated youth, which are some of the most vulnerable individuals that we have in the state. the enthusiasm to roll up his sleeves, make sure that these youth have those valuable services so when they are released from the residential services, they're much better equipped to handle all of the challenges that life may bring, from developing programming, thinking outside the box, pivoting because of COVID, and just making sure all the logistical details are checked off to ensure that programming has been able to launch without a hitch. I can't say enough good things about Kwame and the Simmons Advantage. Without Kwame, without his perseverance and his dedication, and again, his creativity, we would not be where we are with our adjudicated youth programming. Without that support, the adjudicated youth services would not be able to be delivered. And the feedback that we've received, not only from the youth that are receiving these services, but also the staff, has been nothing but glowing. And for a lot of the youth, Kwame's programming is the highlight of their day. So again, I can't thank the Simmons Advantage enough. They are an amazing partner, and we look forward to working with Kwame, Tamika, and the Simmons Advantage for many years to come. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Kwame Simmons, the founder of the Simmons Advantage. I'd like to thank the entire team. Working with MRS is a dream come true. As a career educator, I spent my adult life working in populations that have always been resource strapped. And so the vision in creating the Simmons Advantage and working with MRS has been something that has allowed me to give back to school districts and to communities that were struggling the way that I did as an educator. And so to partner with MRS and to provide financial assistance and programming and capacity building opportunities for students who don't get that on a regular basis is something that is just rewarding to my core. And so to receive this award, I stand here as a microphone of hundreds of thousands of students that appreciate so much what you guys are doing to ensure that their lives are better, and they have no idea that the army that's behind them to make sure that this happens. And so we humbly thank you and appreciate the acceptance of this award.
Hello, my name is Tamika Simmons, and I am the other half of the Simmons Advantage. I am just humbled that you thought of us as a community partner of excellence to receive this award this year. When we started the company, it was very important for me as an educator as well, but moving into the university level to touch students early on with financial literacy, post-secondary information, so they make informed decisions when they get out of school and have a good plan so they don't go into debt. And so that's a real passion of mine and something that I like to make sure that we impart with our students in our programming. And so just being able to touch so many students and being an additional layer, as Kwame said, of assistance to the school districts, that we understand they're working so hard to just reach out to them just academically, but some of the additional soft skills that some of the students are going to need when they get out of schools, they may not have as much time to touch on that in school. So just being able to be that additional layer of support has been really, enriching and important to both of us. And we're really proud and just excited to continue the partnership with MRS and just do greater things and touch more lives in the future. Thank you.
Our next 2022 Champion Award under the Community Partner category goes to the Michigan Works Northeast Consortium, NEMC. They're in partnership with the Michigan Rehabilitation Services Northern Michigan District and Business Network Division. And again, out of Emmett, Michigan. Representing Michigan Works Northwest Consortium is Allison Oakes, Chelsea Bertagnoli, Mary Sue Moreau, and Mary Davis. They were nominated by Craig Saunders and Susie Olson. Congratulations, Michigan Works Northeast Consortium.
Hello, my name is Craig Saunders. I'm a business relations consultant with Michigan Rehabilitation Services. We nominated Northeast Michigan Consortium. They are always open for collaboration, from sharing information to assist with placement of persons with other abilities, to keeping MRS in the loop regarding their programs and business services. This year, they sought out ergonomics training to help their staff work safely. They include MRS in their My Career Quest events, and will be working with MRS this year to assist with providing more information on accessibility for large events. They also invite MRS to provide a disability awareness training for their staff every year.
I'm Susie Olson, a site manager with the Northern Michigan District of Michigan Rehabilitation Services. Our Michigan Works Northeast Consortium partner has always done a great job of both offering assistance to our shared customers and seeking additional training for their staff. During the past year, the Northern District relocated 2 of our primary locations back into the Michigan Works offices. Co-locating has strengthened the communication between our agencies and directly led to positive outcomes for our customers. The Northeast Consortium Youth Services staff have collaborated with our customers to provide services and funding to support post-secondary training for several of our mutual customers, as well as work experiences. Their career specialists have assisted MRS customers with resume development and support for necessary work items through their BREEZE program. Thank you for being such a great partner.
Thank you, Craig and Susie. My name is Mary Davis. I'm the lead career navigator at the Michigan Works in Alpena. Our staff of career navigators offer assistance to folks coming into the resource room. We do resume assistance, interview assistance. We help people search for jobs, whether that be online or through newspaper sources or in word of mouth. We do some potential funding if anyone wants training for college courses, in-demand occupations, things like that. We do work with several partner agencies, including GED and AARP, and of course, MRS. And MRS has been in our office for the past 14 months, and we welcome them back with open arms. I was in the office prior to that before they left for their other place of residence, and we were very sad to see them go, and we were equally as happy to see them back. We do bring customers together. We try to match their needs to our jobs and vice versa. And all the ladies in the office are very, very, good to work with, and we all get along very well. And we're just very glad to be part of you guys.
Hi, I'm Allison Oakes, Michigan Works Youth Career Advisor. I work out of the Mayo office. I've had the pleasure of working with MRS for the last 1.5 years. We've done some collaborating with mutual participants, including extending work experiences, putting a student through heavy equipment training, which he successfully completed, and also providing support such as work clothes or driver's training for those that need those supports to enable them to complete their education or to get into employment.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Bertagnoli. I am the Planning and Program Manager here at Michigan Works Northeast Consortium. Before this, I was working as a career navigator in the office, so I'm relatively new to this position, so I'm really excited for this. In my time as a career navigator, it was very nice to have MRS in our offices because normally we help individuals who come in who are looking for work and are needing some sort of direction. So it's nice for us to be able to direct individuals to our partners within our offices. So that way they don't have to worry about traveling or finding the right location or any sort of means by that. And it's a really great way to partnership to help to remove barriers for individuals.
For our final award for 2022, the statewide partner category, the champion award goes to Erin Wallace. Congratulations, Erin. She was in partnership with MRS, Michigan Rehabilitation Services, on a statewide basis and was nominated by Nasha Ely.
Hi, my name is Nasha Ely, and I'm a business relations consultant with MRS in the Business Network Division. One of the metrics that's measured for our statewide partner nominations is that the partner has a superior sustained effort that contributes significantly to the mission of the Bureau and has demonstrated a commitment to the core values of MRS. And these core values are excellence, inclusion, integrity, positive work environment, respect, and teamwork. I nominated Erin Wallace, Program Manager of the Staywell Program, for this award. We've been partnering with her since the pandemic as she facilitates programming through Staywell. which is a program through Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. This program offers emotional support to help Michiganders through mental health challenges that they've experienced since the pandemic. Erin partners a lot with the Business Network Division to facilitate training for businesses, our partners, state of Michigan departments, and any entity that is interested in this information to address any and all mental health challenges related to COVID-19. Erin is eager to assist the efforts and mission of MRS by empowering employers and employees about mental health and the added challenges that Michiganders have experienced since the pandemic. Topics such as burnout, resilience, gratitude, mindfulness, to name a few. And these meet the mental health needs of all ages, from children to older adults. These services are helping people across the state address a topic that is typically seen as taboo, bringing awareness, resources, strategies, and conversation to the forefront, and removing the stigma associated with mental illness and other mental health concerns. Erin often brings MRS to the table to partner in her initiatives, and likewise, we connect with her for her expertise when needed. Erin is a true champion, changing the stigma around mental health and mental illness by tackling this difficult topic with much needed information, support, and conversation. Congratulations, Erin, on the 2022 Champion Award for Statewide Partner.
Good afternoon. My name is Erin Wallace, and I am so honored to have been nominated as a Champion Statewide Partner, let alone selected. I'm so grateful and appreciative of this opportunity and work that's been done in coordination with MRS. It's truly humbling and simultaneously motivating, as there's so much more work that needs to be done. To share some history, since late 2020, the Stay Well program has been partnering with MRS's Business Network Division, among other state departments, regional organizations, as well as private entities, to help address the mental health effects related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Stay Well program has adapted to changing needs of the communities as the pandemic continues to evolve. We've been so grateful to have community and state partners that can help to shape our messaging, such as MRS. This time has been challenging, no doubt. However, we've seen an acknowledgement as we as a society need to do more for our mental health, and that's okay. It's encouraged by many to explore and implement additional ways to be more kind to our minds. This societal acceptance is a big step. And what we've learned together throughout this time is that we've all experienced challenges. We have all experienced a shared grief, and mental health concerns are not uncommon, nor is this an area to be ashamed of. To be recognized as a champion and honored with this award is sincerely humbling, as I myself am not exempt from experiencing adversity. Michelle Obama said, "Grief and resilience live together." Through this partnership and work having been done with MRS, along with my own personal experiences, this quote strikes me and rings very true. Through our many shared losses, we can also share in our resilience. As we look hopefully to the future, I'm optimistic that our resilience can be greater than our grief, and we can all adapt ways to be kinder to our minds. From the bottom of my heart, many, many sincere thanks, and wishing you all blessings to stay well.
Thank you to all the nominators and recipients of the MRS Champions Award this year. Congratulations. Your work and accomplishments are worthy of celebration, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to do so today. Thank you to each person in attendance for celebrating some of the highlights from our previous year of work. Now, to close out the 2022 Champion Awards, please welcome Tina Fullerton, the Director of Michigan Rehabilitation Services.
Thank you, Steve, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tina Fullerton, Director of Michigan Rehabilitation Services. First and foremost, congratulations to all the recipients of the Champion Award. 13 awards were given this year in recognition of those who had made an outstanding commitment to Michigan's vocational rehabilitation program for individuals with disabilities. The stories and experiences that we heard today demonstrate all that we value in vocational rehabilitation: partnership, collaboration, teamwork, passion, commitment, and perseverance, just to name a few. I would like to acknowledge and thank those who provided opening comments. Stephanie Beckhorn, Director of the Office of Employment and Training; Susan Corbin, Director of the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity; and Carol Berquist, the Chair of the Michigan Council of Rehabilitation Services. Their statements reflect the importance of the National Disability Employment Awareness Month and the mission of MRS and vocational rehabilitation. Also, I want to give a big thank you to the vocational rehabilitation counselors for the work you do every day and the passion and dedication that you display. VR counselors, through collaboration with their team of agency and community partners, along with their MRS colleagues, support and guide vocational rehabilitation. Working together to help our customers accomplish their goals is really what Voc Rehab is all about. Finally, thank you all for joining the 14th Annual Michigan Rehabilitation Services Champion Awards.